What does the Virginia basketball roster look like for 2022-2023? Well, I did some analysis on this today. This after last night, Tony Bennett on his weekly radio show said he's expecting Armaan Franklin and Jayden Gardner to return to Virginia next season, and also that he is saying that the status of point guard Kihei Clark is still up in the air. Quote, Kihei has his degree, Bennett said. He will have a decision to make. My assumption, he's probably in his last year. I just don't know for sure. We had reported, at least we had indicated on a podcast last week, that's reporting, that our staff writer Scott German had been told after the Miami game. He talked with members of Clark's family after the Miami game. That was back on February 5th, so over 3 weeks ago now, that Kihei Clark had already committed to returning for the 2022-2023 season. But that was before Clark participated in senior day activities at JPJ before Saturday's home finale with Florida State. Gardner, who is a senior eligibility-wise, noticeably did not. Tony Bennett said the reason for that is that both Gardner and Franklin, who transferred in, they both transferred in. Gardner transferred from East Carolina, won his first 3 years there. Franklin's a junior, but he transferred from Indiana. Both of them needed to take 12 credit hours at UVA in the summer just to be eligible to play this season. A lot of credits from other schools maybe not applying or not applying. Not maybe. There's no maybe about it. They didn't apply towards the UVA degree. So Gardner, you have to assume, because he didn't participate in senior day, I guess, he's not ready to shove off just yet. Franklin would have another year of eligibility no matter what, maybe 2 years if he wanted to convert that COVID redshirt year that's out there. Bennett saying it will take them an extra year to get a degree, which sucks for those guys. Armaan is definitely coming back, Bennett said. So he's already had that talk with him, like apparently from at least Kihei Clark's family said that Bennett had that talk with him. And then Bennett said, I'm hoping the majority of this team's coming back. It hasn't proved. It still has a lot of work to do to keep building. The good news here is, well, Franklin already committing, and he assumes Gardner's coming back. Those are the team's two leading scorers this year. Gardner's averaging 15.5 points, also a team leading 7.0 rebounds, and Franklin averaging 11.4 points per game. You get those two guys back, plus your sophomore point guard, Reese Beekman, who I think is the guy on this team with NBA potential, averaging just under 8 points and 5 assists a game this year. Also, your two bigs are back, Caden Shedrick and Francisco Cafaro, who've been splitting the 40 minutes per game roughly at the 5 spot. Combined, they average 11.4 points and 9 rebounds a game. If you get Kihei Clark back, Kihei is the third double-figure scorer on this team, 10.3 points, 4.2 assists a game. That I think, would be key for this team next year. It would provide veteran leadership that could help bridge the transition for the incoming 4-star recruit Isaac McNeely, the West Virginia product, who's a 6'4" combo guard who could certainly play point down the road. With Reese Beekman would slide over if Kihei was not available. Reese would slide over and be your point guard, and then McNeely would be a big guard who could also handle the ball as needed. The return of Gardner to 4 spots, similarly, in the way I view this, would help ease things for the 4-star big Isaac Trout, actually the highest rated recruit in this class of 22 for Virginia, which is all 4 stars, and it's number 2 in the ACC, number 10 nationally by 247 Sports. Trout's a 6'10" banger who can shoot from the perimeter. He's got 3-point range, also face-up defenders, take the ball to the rim. Is a good defender for that size. He's very similar in the way he plays to Gardner, but he's 4 inches taller. Just like if Clark were to come back and that could ease the transition for McNeely, maybe McNeely could sort of ease into the rotation as your first guard off the bench. If assuming Gardner comes back, which Tony Bennett's assuming. That could ease the transition for Trout. I think Trout could certainly give you minutes as a stretch 4 at 6'10". He could play some 5 for you at 6'10" if that was the case. So you also have the other 2 4-stars in the class of 2022, 6'5" Milwaukee prep player Leon Bond and 6'6" Pennsylvania recruit Ryan Dunn. They'll be expected to compete for rotation minutes. So when you do the math, even without Clark, that's 9 guys who are pushing for playing time. Your 5 guys who would be coming back if Clark were to not join that group, and then 4 newcomers. And that's not even accounting for a couple of big recruits, actually 3. In class of 2021, Tate Murray was a 4-star recruit. Classmate Igor Milicic Jr. was not rated because he's from Europe, didn't get a rating from the recruiting services here in the States, but he would have been a 4-star. And in class of 2024, star Carson McCorkle. The 3 M's, as I've been calling them, and I think others have been calling them that too. I don't know that I originated the name. It's easy to say. Murray, Milicic, and McCorkle, the 3 M's, have not been getting a lot of playing time. Murray's only gotten 39 minutes since January 1st, 2 since February 1st. McCorkle, 13 minutes since January 1st, 5 since February 1st. Milicic, 14 since January 1st, and 2 in the month of February. There may be some movement there. I just have to wonder. I mean, in this day and age, kids don't like not playing, and there's crowding in this roster, as I've just explained. McCorkle in particular may be a guy who could be heading out. We'll see. At the least, if everybody of those, if the 3 M's all stay, Kihei Clark stays, Virginia still has one extra scholarship to account for. Cody Statman is not coming back. And so if one of the 3 M's moves, if Clark moves, you either have 2 or 3. You could have, I think that in the end here, what's going to happen is you're likely to see Tony give Malachi Poindexter, the sophomore walk-on, who's been getting minutes in rotation minutes, that is, 43 minutes in February, including 14 in the win at Duke and Durham on February 7th. He also played some big minutes against Miami in the win down there later in the month. It wouldn't surprise me to see Tony give him a scholarship. You can always save a scholarship for future use down the road. There's at least Francisco Cafaro is going to be using up all of his eligibility and more. Cafaro will track to graduate here in the spring, and then he'll come back for a year as a grad student next year. So at the least, you have that scholarship free. Coming up, you'll have Gardner's, assuming he comes back for next year. Then after that, he's done. You'll have a couple to play with there for the class of 2023. Again, to go back, Malachi Poindexter, it wouldn't surprise me to see that being addressed there. You could also, though, use either the 1, 2, or 3 scholarships to address immediate needs. And if you're going to address immediate needs, the immediate need is outside shooting. Armaan Franklin, the aforementioned, was recruited to be a guy who could stretch defenses. He was a 42.4% three-point shooter last year in Indiana. He's been in the mid-20s all this season. It just hasn't worked out as far as that goes. He's a good mid-range guy, good at getting to the rim, just not good at shooting the 3. And the team, as a result, shooting just 32.1% from three-point range this season, 31.1% in ACC games. That's been the glaring weakness on this team. So, hey, if they're going to use a scholarship to maybe either try to lure a ready now incoming freshman to bolster what we've already got coming in terms of the 4 freshmen who are already coming in, or someone off the transfer portal, you would think that that's the only need. Point guard seems to be well taken. Maybe a backup point guard if Kihei doesn't come back, honestly, could be something. But so Beekman doesn't have to play 38 minutes a game again. It seems like he's playing 38 every game lately. And if you don't want to slide McNeely over to that spot, maybe you could do that. But 3-point shooting would seem to be the key here. Bennett told his radio audience last night that he likes what he's seen in terms of improvement from his team from the opener to where it is now, and just wants to continue to build on that. So this team ceiling, you kind of knew going in. We had Jason Williford on the Jerry Ratcliffe show back right before the season started, and Jason said this team would be a work in progress. And it's March 1st, and it's still a work in progress. So it's made progress, and the ceiling wasn't as high as it was for some previous groups, but I think the future's bright at UVA. There's a story on this on the Augusta Free Press website. Please check it out. Feel free to comment either here on social media or on the website. Love to hear from you.